Nathan Cole was exhausted. As the CEO of Tyrannex Technologies, he had built his company into a dominant force in the AI-driven logistics industry. But the last few months had been nothing short of a nightmare. A critical flaw in their latest product, her self-optimizing delivery system meant to revolutionize global shipping, had caused a cascade of failures. Contracts were dropping. Clients were furious. Nearly $200 million was already lost in revenue, with lawsuits looming. His best engineers, dozens of them, had been working around the clock. Meetings, diagnostics, algorithmic rewrites, nothing worked. That morning, Nathan came home after yet another fruitless 18-hour day. He collapsed onto the leather couch in his penthouse, rubbing his temples and muttering to himself as he reviewed the latest damage report. Meanwhile, Maria, his housemaid of nearly 5 years, quietly went about her tasks in the background. She always kept to herself, efficient, polite, invisible when needed. Nathan had no idea where she was from, only that she was reliable and discreet. As he reviewed another internal email about their routing system's failure to adapt to shifting traffic patterns, he said aloud, "They're optimizing routes, but it's like they're blind to the past. Why is the system ignoring data from earlier trips? It just resets every time." That's when Maria spoke softly, almost like she was talking to herself. "Maybe it's because they don't remember the system. Maybe it doesn't store what it learns in each trip." Nathan looked up. "What?" She flushed, caught off guard. "Sorry, sir. I overheard. If the system doesn't remember past patterns, then it's not really learning, is it? Maybe that's why it keeps choosing the wrong paths. It's too, reactive. It doesn't have memory?" He blinked. "Contextual memory." Maria stepped back, nervous. "It's just a term I read once, when I was studying computational modeling. Before I had to stop school. I didn't mean to intrude." Nathan stood up slowly. "Wait, you studied modeling?" "Yes, sir, in Manila. I was close to finishing a degree in data systems and applied math. Then my father got sick. We couldn't afford treatment and tuition at the same time, so I came here to work. I just read papers when I have spare time." Nathan stared at her like she'd just grown wings. "Say it again, about the system." She hesitated. "Well, if your routing AI doesn't store memory of local traffic history, maybe it's failing to account for things that happen regularly, but not predictably, like construction zones that happen every Thursday, or a back road that's always flooded after rain. Without that memory, it's just reacting in real time, not adapting." Nathan grabbed his phone. "Don't move." He called his CTO immediately. "Listen carefully. I want you to run a new test, adjust the routing model to include persistent local traffic memory. Call it contextual persistence. Let it weigh previous delays and routing decisions. Don't treat every route as a blank slate." There was a pause on the line. Then, "That's actually a brilliant idea." 2 hours later, Nathan's phone lit up. The new simulation was complete. The error rate had dropped by over 80%. Efficiency jumped 39%. The critical flaw, the one that had cost them hundreds of millions, was gone. Maria had solved it. In seconds, Nathan sat back on his couch in stunned silence. His eyes drifted back to Maria, who was now wiping down the kitchen counter like nothing happened. He couldn't decide. What shocked him more, the simplicity of the solution, or the quiet genius who had been right under his nose the entire time? Maria didn't sleep that night. She wasn't sure if what she said to Mr. Cole was foolish or brilliant or both. She had only spoken because it pained her to hear someone struggle with a problem she instinctively felt she could solve. But now, after what happened, she was anxious. Was he angry? Amused? Would she be fired for overstepping? She arrived at the penthouse the next morning, expecting awkward silence. Instead, Nathan was already waiting at the door, dressed sharply, holding a cup of coffee in one hand and a folder in the other. He smiled in a way that startled her. It was the kind of smile someone gave when they'd just seen a miracle. "Maria," he said, "I want you to come with me." She blinked. "Sir, I mean it. To the office. We have a board meeting in 30 minutes. You're coming." Maria stood frozen. I can't. I'm not dressed for. Doesn't matter. What you're wearing is exactly what makes this real." She followed him, stunned, into the waiting car and up to the towering glass headquarters of Tyrannex Technologies. As she stepped into the elevator and saw her reflection, her hair tied back, her simple shoes, her cleaning uniform, she wanted to disappear. But Nathan kept talking, telling her about the simulation results, how her suggestion had saved the company, how none of his engineers had seen what she had in minutes. They entered the boardroom. It was full executives, engineers, and advisors, all in suits and guarded expressions. The atmosphere was tense, but it shifted the moment Nathan raised his hand. "I want to introduce someone," he said. "This is Maria. She works in my home. Until yesterday, none of you knew her. Now, every single person in this room owes her a thank you." He gestured to the screen behind him, where performance data lit up in dramatic graphs and side-by-side comparisons. Maria identified a gap in our routing model that none of us did, not because she had better tools, not because she had weeks to analyze the problem. She simply saw something we didn't, something essential, the need for memory, context. She understood the behavior of our system not as code, but as something human. The room went silent. A few engineers exchanged glances. One of the senior board members cleared his throat. "Are you suggesting we bring her on as a consultant?" Nathan looked at Maria, then back at the board. "I'm suggesting we offer her a scholarship, a full ride to finish her degree on us, and after that, a position at Tyrannex, if she wants it. But frankly, I think she's ready to work now. She doesn't need a degree to prove she's brilliant. She's already demonstrated that." All eyes turned to her. Maria swallowed hard. Her hands trembled slightly, but her voice was calm. "Thank you," she said, "truly. But if it's all right with you, I don't want to wait. I've been reading papers and solving problems in my head for years. Just because I didn't finish university doesn't mean I stopped learning. I want to contribute. Now?" There was a long pause, and then Nathan nodded. "Then let's get you a desk." Within days, Maria had an official title, Special Advisor for AI Systems Integrity. Her name appeared on internal emails and meeting invites. Engineers some decades older were now asking for her opinion. She was offered a 6-figure salary, full benefits, and a company badge with her photo on it. And every morning, she still arrived early, notebook in hand, ready to learn and build and challenge. Word spread fast. Media picked up the story. From Maid to Mind Behind the Fix ran on headlines. But Maria didn't care about the fame. She was finally doing what she was born to do. And all it took was one moment of courage and someone willing to listen.